Welcome to a Zndrsplt Okaun Chaos Deck Tech.
In this video, we're going to show you how to have fun while causing a little bit of chaos at your EDH table with this dynamic duo.
I'm your host, Joe Cherries.
And I'm your host, Beezy, and together, we make up the Nitpicking Nerds.
Before we begin, make sure to hit that subscribe button because all subscribers in Nitpicking Nerds are 10% more likely to win every coin flip.
It's true. Disclaimer, this is not true. So, Joe.
Yes, Beezy.
What are we trying to do?
With this deck, we're trying to flip coins, have a lot of fun, cause some chaos, cast our opponent's spells, all that kind of stuff.
Well, how about we read the generals, Zndrsplt / Okaun? That one's harder to pronounce to me. I don't...
Well, that's because, okay, we're going to make a
We need to set a standard right now.
We're going to set a standard. We don't actually know how to pronounce it. We're going to admit that we just don't know. We're going to go with Okaun.
Okaun. That is it. I want to read Zndrsplt, because I feel like if we were a duo, I would be Zndrsplt.
What? I'm the Zndrsplt.
You're the dumb Cyclops.
Oh.
Zndrsplt, Eye of Wisdom. 4 and a blue for a 1/4 homunculus. Partners with Okaun.
We're supposed to make a direct stance. Thanks, BZ.
Partners with Okie Dokie, Eye of Chaos. Which means if either one enters, you can search your library for the other one, which does not matter other than that you get to search your library and shuffle it. At the beginning of combat on your turn, flip a coin until you lose a flip. Whenever a player wins a coin flip, draw a card. Your turn.
Okaun, Eye of Chaos. 4 and a red. Legendary creature, Cyclops Berserker. 3/3. Partner with Zndrsplt, Eye of Wisdom. At the beginning of combat on your turn, flip a coin until you lose a flip. Whenever a player wins a coin flip, double Okaun's power and toughness until end of turn.
One's the brains, one's the brawn.
I'll accept.
I think it's very clear who's who.
I'll accept being the brawn.
Good.
The brawn's strong.
No, just the brawn.
No.
Yeah, exactly. First category, flipping coins.
It sounds like you're swearing at coins. Flipping coins?
Flipping coins.
Flipping coins.
Let's get into it. We obviously, this is just cards that flip coins, so we can win coin flips and draw cards and double Okaun's power.
All right, we'll mention right now, there's 20 cards in this deck that deal with flipping coins.
For those math whizzes out there, that's 20%.
20% of the deck has coin flips in it. There can be more. We didn't put all of them in.
True.
So, right into the Gourmet Bagel.
Oh yeah, Gourmet Bagel, right off the spot. Never thought I'd say this. Quark's Thumb.
What's a Gourmet Bagel, though?
Gourmet Bagel being the best card in the whole deck. You know, the other 19 coin flip cards or the other 20 coin flip cards. Mm-hmm. They're bread and butter. They're what you want every day, all day. But if you really want to win, you need the Gourmet Bagel.
Yes.
That's the best card in the deck.
So what Quark's Thumb does is, why don't you read it? Why don't you read Quark's Thumb?
I will read Quark's Thumb. 2 mana for a legendary artifact. If you would flip a coin, instead flip 2 coins and ignore 1.
Okay, this increases your chances of winning a coin flip from 50 to 75%.
It depends on how much time you want to spend on this. Your deck's going to get so much better.
Yeah, you're going to have to flip a lot more coins.
Get an app on your phone that flips coins, so you can just go, okay. Or if you have to flip 10 coins, you can go.
If you're going to, let's be very clear, if you're playing a coin flip deck and you're not going to do it with, say you don't like the app, whatever, get cool coins. Get like some Power Ranger, like the tokens that they put into their little things.
Yeah, those are probably really easy to find.
Those are awesome.
Yeah, just one of the Power Ranger coins.
Yes, get the Power Ranger coins.
Or just like a quarter.
No, that's not cool. If you get a quarter, I'm not playing with you.
What about a Stanley nickel?
I will take, yes, a Stanley nickel.
It's my preferred method of currency. There's ways to tutor for this thing. Fabricate, Tezzeret, the Seeker.
I didn't mention one.
You want it every game.
No one in the one is?
No, I don't.
Word of invention.
Word of invention. All the ways to tutor it.
This card is...
Your deck's just better when it's out.
Yeah, and all 3 of those cards are almost exclusively to get this thumb.
Yeah.
Who would have thought a weird thumb could do that? Also, I really like its flavor text. He says, I know one goblin who isn't so lucky.
Yeah.
It's really good. And it's Slowbad who said that.
So this is a fun deck, and this isn't like kill you on turn 3 competitive deck. Although there's ways to win we'll get into. But why don't you just tell me your favorite cards?
So, like we said, there's 20 cards that deal with coin flips in this deck. But we're just going to talk about the ones we like.
Yeah, that's what it's about.
That's what's my favorites. This is my personal favorite. Mog Assassin. This guy, you tap him, flip a coin. If you win, destroy target creature. If you lose, instead your opponent destroys the creature.
This is never going to be the best creature in play. No one's ever going to kill this.
No, they're not. This card's cool, though.
It's really cool. All right, next one.
Mirror March. 5 and a red for an enchantment. Whenever a non-token creature enters the battlefield under your control, flip a coin until you lose. For each coin flip that you won, create a creature that is a copy of that creature. It gains haste. Exile them at the beginning of the next end step.
This is the just epitome of like all or nothing.
The thing, there's not a lot of creatures in this deck.
No, there's not even that many.
The coolest ones it works with, Mog Assassin. That's really cool. Because now your Mog Assassins can die.
And you chaining coin flips.
Yeah, and you're chaining coin flips. It works with your commanders?
Sorta. I mean, they're still legendary.
Oh, yeah, that's
So
true.
they just die.
Yeah, what was I thinking? That doesn't make any sense.
I don't know what you were thinking.
But it works with Sad Robot. It works with Mog Assassin.
Burner's Tart.
I mean, it's just lets you do a bunch of coin flips just for playing your creature, which is cool.
So speaking of all or nothing.
Ooh, this is so cool. Might be cooler than... I don't know why I like this card so much. I think it's because back when I was a new player, I put this in my like first Maelstrom Wanderer deck because I couldn't afford a Time Warp. Because I was like
Those
really...
days have long gone.
Yeah, those days.
Now you're just rich. Off YouTube mostly.
All day. Just make it rain. Stitch in Time. Flip a coin. If you win the coin, take an extra turn after this one.
Now, how does one win the coin?
They call it...
And then you get to keep the coin, even if it's not your coin.
Well, yeah. That one's
That's good.
Yeah.
Pretty self-explanatory on that one.
Yep. What are yours, BZ?
My first pick is Goblin Archaeologist. This guy is a 1/2 for 1 and a red. Goblin Artificer. That's a joke. Red, tap, flip a coin. If you win, destroy target artifact and untap this guy. If you lose, sacrifice him. Kark's Thumb, train in it, baby. Just Vandal Blast your opponent's stuff.
Until he dies.
Until you lose the second flip and he dies.
Think about all these coin flips. Don't forget.
They trigger Zndrsplt. They trigger Okaun.
Yeah, it's really easy to make your Okaun or your Zndrsplt real big.
Well, it's harder to make Zndrsplt big.
Yeah, you make your Okaun real big and you draw a lot of cards with Zndrsplt.
Mm-hmm. Number 2, Boom Pile. 4 mana for an artifact. Tap it, flip a coin. If you win, destroy all non-land permanents.
Cool card.
What the heck? It's so random.
It's so random that if you lose, nothing happens. So it's like you just flip a coin. Oh, nothing happened.
That was close.
Also, it's really weirdly worded because like this card's never gonna work well with Okaun, or
No.
because it's always gonna blow him up.
Yeah, I mean, if you win.
Yeah, if you win, you double his power and he's gone.
Finally, Ral Zarek, the man himself. Now, the only thing we care about here is the ultimate.
Mm-hmm.
Flip a coin 5 times. Every time you get heads, you take an extra turn. Now, you can't win these coin flips, notably. It's either heads or tails. You can't win, but you get extra turns for flipping coins. That's cool.
Yeah, and also it still works with the thumb.
It does still work with the thumb.
Oh,
Now we know
category
we
number 2.
got the coin flips.
What's next?
What's the chaos part of the deck?
We have
Because we only have 20 slots filled.
there's a lot of cool chaos cards.
You love these, so you can read this one.
Let's talk about my
Mostly because I don't want to read
this
it.
is one of my favorite cards in the deck. Oh, it's so cool. Goblin Game. This card is super weird, and I'm going to give you the abridged version because I know what it does.
Yeah.
And it's much easier.
We got a reader.
The abridged version is, I don't even know if this is abridged. It's probably going to be just as many words.
The Joe version is.
The Joe version is each player has at least one item, and then each player reveals the number of items they reveals the number of items they hid. They lose life equal to the number of items they hid. Then the player who hid the least amount of items loses half their life rounded up, I believe. Or is it down?
Up.
Up.
Turns out it's up.
Half their life rounded up. And if it's a tie,
This is so weird.
also if it's a tie, both those players lose half their life
course they
rounded
do.
up. It's so weird.
I mean, what if you just hide, like, your dice? Then there's, like, 60 things.
This is what's really weird about this card. This is one of the few Magic cards that makes you take, like, we can call it coin flipping, but it makes your opponents take an action that is outside of the natural game of Magic.
You might not have things around you.
Yeah, you have to hide at least one. Mm-hmm. It's literally the rule of the card, which is weird. Like, imagine playing this card in, like, a legacy game, which you could.
You could.
You force your opponent to play this weird game of hiding items.
Just irritate your opponent, basically. All right, I got to read the next one. This is word spaghetti. Thieves Auction. 4 red for a sorcery. Set aside all cards in play. Starting with you, each player chooses one of the cards set aside and puts it into play tapped under their control. Repeat this process until all those cards have been chosen. You literally put everything in the middle and then you draft it.
I don't like this card because it takes so long to resolve.
It takes a while, but it's definitely chaotic. Mostly you switch lands around because everybody wants their spells first.
It's very chaotic. Okay, so it's beneficial to like single color decks because like then you can just take all when you're going into drafting lands.
You just draft all the threats.
You
can draft all their lands.
Yeah, but when you're drafting lands, like the 4-color decks are going to have more trouble getting their lands back, and the single color decks like, well, I'll just take the steam vents instead of my mountain.
Yeah,
and then you stick them with a mountain. It's much worse.
It's like every land is either colorless or mountain, so you don't care.
Yeah, it's super good for a deck like that.
So not that bad. We're not done with the word spaghetti.
Yeah.
Not the word spaghetti, which is the word of the day, by the way. But we're not done with these cards that have lots of words. Why don't you read the next one?
Scrambleverse. 6 red sorcery. For each non-land permanent, choose a player at random. Then each player gains control of each permanent for which he or she was chosen. Untap those permanents.
Randomly assigned. This one's easier to resolve, and they're untapped.
It's not easy. It is easier to resolve.
Yeah.
It's still a lot.
It's a lot of movement. Don't play with the same colored sleeves as your opponents. Don't do it. All right, we got to get through these. Warp World. Red, 5. I said that in the wrong order. Each player shuffles all permanents. Oh, yeah. This one's going to take a while to resolve. Each player shuffles all permanents he or she owns into his or her library, then reveals that many cards from the top. Each player puts all artifact, creatures, lands into play, and then does the same for enchantments because of auras. Then puts all cards revealed this way that weren't put onto the battlefield on the bottom. What? It's probably just this. Some people concede to this card.
This also will kill your spell slinging opponents.
Yeah, some people just concede. Some people will just be dead to it.
I mean, yeah, if you're playing a spell slinger deck with like, let's say your permanents are basically your 30. There's like 40.
You have mana rocks and you have lands. And
so
you
like
have
60.
brawl.
Yeah, 60% of your deck is whiffs. So it's like, woof. You get
Well, first of all, let's say you have 15 permanents. Now you get 15 looks. Only 15.
And only 40% are hits.
Yeah, you have like 4 lands.
That's not how math works.
R.I.P. Storm opponents. Speaking of Storm.
Possibility Storm.
Read it.
Possibility Storm. 3 red enchantment. Whenever a player casts a spell from his or her hand, exile that spell. The player reveals cards from the top of their library until they reveal a spell that shares a type with the exiled card. Cast that card. Then put all cards that were exiled on the bottom of the library in a random order.
This one's also a little annoying to resolve, but it means that Possibility Storm is really hard to remove.
I actually just played this card today.
How was it?
It was fun. It was actually really fun. And it's funny because I had a board of like all these artifacts and enchantments, like a bunch of them, like a lot of good ones.
Yeah.
And he cast like Enlightened Tutor and it hit Dusted On. He removed Possibility Storm. It was not even close on the board to the first or second best enchantment, but it was hilarious.
That's great. So the last aspect of this deck is playing with other people's stuff. That's the best feeling.
I'll have you know, I didn't realize I enjoyed this so much until I was putting these cards down. I realized this was like
some of his favorite cards.
These are a list of like 4 or 5 of my favorite cards in Magic.
Is this your favorite Magic card of all time?
This is my favorite bad Magic card of all time.
Why don't we read it?
Stolen Goods.
This is the weirdest bad favorite card. I don't get why you like it so much.
Oh, I love it.
I know that.
I have a story behind it. That's why. Stolen Goods. 3 blue sorcery. Target opponent exiles cards from the top of their library until they reveal a non-land card. You may cast it without paying its mana cost.
So what's your story?
My story with this card is a long time ago when I first started playing Magic, I had my first CDH deck, a Maelstrom Wanderer build. I had this card in it. It wasn't a good deck. It was a bad deck. All my stuff.
Clearly.
Yes. All my stuff got stolen out of my car. My whole collection that I had at the time. So I worked at the card shop back then, and I was playing another event at that card shop. Somebody came in and tried to sell the cards that were stolen out of my car. The most identifiable thing, they were in my sleeves, that was recognizable. But also, it was a Maelstrom Wanderer deck. Maelstrom Wanderer was in the deck.
Yep.
And
it's
Stolen Goods, which was, it's ironic, it's amazing.
I went to high school with the guy who stole his deck.
Yeah, he did go to high school with the guy.
He's a scumbag.
Yeah. Man, you should have called him out. It was great. And I will always have that story, so
Good
that
story.
card will always be one of my favorites. I don't think I've ever had a foil of it, though. I really wish I did.
Can't be much.
It can't be. Like, it's
Alright.
like a 27-cent card.
Now, on Stolen Tribal, I will read the next one.
Stolen tribal.
Stolen Strategy, 4 and a red for an enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, exile the top card of each opponent's library. Until end of turn, you may cast non-land cards from among those things, and you may spend mana of Zora any color to cast those spells. This card is not very good.
It turns out you hit a lot of lands, and
Usually 2.
I mean, it's card advantage, but you'll realize that you're not doing the same thing as your opponent very
It's
quickly.
slow.
It's slow. You're not doing the same things as your opponent, and it draws a really fast target. People don't like this card. Like, it's decent.
Third exile top card of my library?
Yeah. It draws, I don't know why. Whenever I played it, it drew a target so easy. It wasn't even good.
Yeah, no, screw that. It's fun. It's chaotic. It's
It
weird.
is super fun. I love the card. Like, it also has the word stolen in it, which just makes it even better.
True. We're on to the next one. Another one of your favorites.
Another one of my personal favorites here. Mind's Dilation. Whenever an opponent casts his or her first spell for the turn, exile the top card of that player's library. If it's a non-land card, you may cast it without paying its mana cost.
Sounds similar to Stolen Strategy, but it's way better.
It's way better because it's every time they cast a spell, the first spell turn. So if they're holding up counter spells,
That's
they'll trigger
bad.
that.
That's bad.
If they're playing an instant speed, playing cards on everyone's
If
turn.
they have counter spells, you can counter their spells if you flip one.
Yeah, I've done that before.
Yeah, you have.
I've gotten the counter spells with people's spells. The card's really cool.
It's not bad.
This card's also not super insane. Like, everyone thinks this card's like insane. It's like, but it's just
No,
good.
it's mediocre.
Yeah, it's
But it can't, like,
not as good as you think. It's an awesomely fun card though.
it's like casual top end. It's awesome.
Oh, it's super fun. Like, I even have it in my like best decks, like, because I like it so much.
Yeah. So, these cards are so similar.
These cards
They're
are
all like the same card.
It's ridiculous how much these cards are Joe.
Yes. Itali, Primal Storm, 4 red for a 6/6 Elder Dinosaur. Whenever he attacks, reveal a top card of each player's library. And then you may cast any number of non-land cards exiled this way for free.
This card
For free.
I love all these cards so much.
For free.
Atali is my favorite dinosaur, not close.
It's so close. There's so many other dinosaurs.
There was a lot of cool dinosaurs. I like
whatever.
I like Goltai. I like
Look at the
Nuzzlehall.
art. The art's amazing. This card's a bomb. It's really good.
Oh yeah, that art is. I love that art. A++.
We gotta move on though.
Plus.
Move on to the next one.
Plus. Ugh. I don't want to read the next one. I don't like this one.
Then I'll read it.
Yeah, you read it.
4 and a blue for a 3/3. Its name is Perplexing Chimera. It's very divisive. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may exchange control of Perplexing Chimera and that spell. If you do, you may choose new targets for the spell. If the spell becomes a permanent, you control that permanent. Non-stop disruption. This card does not go away. Doesn't sacrifice. They just, whoever you screw over can then screw over somebody else. And then it just keeps on going until you kill it.
I don't like it.
Yeah. And if you try to kill it with a single target spell, they can go, nah.
Or if you try and kill it with a targeted spell. It doesn't have to be a single target.
Well, yeah, that's true. Great card. Super silly. Are we down to the last category?
Yeah.
Winning the game?
Winning the game. Yeah, we're about to win the game.
But we're a coin flip chaos deck. How are we supposed to win the game?
Let's be clear. First and foremost, this deck is for having fun. But me and BZ are very strong advocates for having a way within even your funnest decks
To end the game.
to end the game.
Play more games.
Say your deck is going off and you're in a really good position, you should be able to finish it.
Right. Don't just draw 40 cards and like, all right, go ahead, guys. Like, okay, you got something to do. You can win the game. Here's how. We got 2 main ways.
Yeah,
and they're with each commander, which is amazing.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
We've got Okaun and Fling/Chandra's Ignition.
Chandra's Ignition, if Okaun's big enough, will kill everybody,
Yes,
and
Fling-
Fling will kill one opponent. Also, he can attack and probably kill another. You'll probably kill 2.
And Teamer Battle Rage.
Oh, yeah, he gets there's not many decks you get to play Team or Battle Rage in, but this is one of them.
Yes, so he goes from 3 to 6, 6 to 12, 12 to 24. That's already lethal on somebody. So potentially turn 6, you can get that going.
Yeah, and then if you can get off to like, and then he goes to 48 after that. And then,
And then
it's like,
lethal.
all right, I'll chump him because he doesn't have trample. That's what you think. Battle Rage!
Or just Chandra's Ignition and kill everybody.
Yeah.
The other way is Zndrsplt and Frenetic Efreet and Lab Maniac. Frenetic Efreet lets you pay 0 to flip a coin, and if you win, Frenetic Efreet like phases out for a second, or however it doesn't really matter. It lets you put infinite coin flips on the stack, like this.
Which means you have infinite wins.
Right, which means you'll not infinitely win. Like you won't get infinite wins, but you can say, "Hey guys, the game's over. I'm gonna draw my whole deck, play Lab Man, and then draw a card."
Well, no. You can't do it like that
Well,
because it'll be phased out.
he'll be phased out, but you'll have another way to draw a card. You have your whole deck in your hand.
Yeah, I mean, you can put infinite coins, but usually you just want to have Lemon out already.
Yeah, you can just have Lemon out, draw your whole deck, especially with Kark's Thumb. It's over.
Let's mention one thing really quickly.
Sweet new War of the Spark cards you
So
mentioned.
I will say, I very rarely put Labman in any deck because I don't like that card. But as soon as War of the Spark comes out, I'll never put Labman in
His
the deck.
days are over.
His days are over. Put unless you're playing a 4 or 5 color deck, put Jason in the deck instead of
Yes,
Labman.
new Jace, which is named...
It's on the screen. Don't worry.
That's his name.
Yep, that's his name. You can see it.
Jace
Look,
something Mysteries.
you see that?
Yeah, he's 1 blue, and he helps you not die to decking.
Yeah.
Sweet card. I'm glad there's more alternatives, but that is the deck. That's all she wrote.
It's a cool deck.
But you can now take our wisdom and our knowledge
Our wisdom.
and build a deck based on randomness that has no skill behind it.
And have fun. This deck is fun. I am strongly considering...
You're warming up to chaos.
I'm strongly considering making a version of this deck. I wouldn't play some of these chaos cards. I don't like the super long to resolve ones.
Yeah.
But I like playing with my opponent's cards, like the
Maybe
flipping
take
up top.
that and not necessarily the coin flippers.
I want to play Okaun though.
Board it over. Well, you can still just play them in the 99.
I think Okaun and Zndrsplt are super cool
They're
commanders.
super cool. They're adorable. They're such a great tag team.
Yeah, and they also have like each of them is. I don't know if Homunculus have horns or if he has the other horn, but either way, one has the right horn and one has the left
She's
horn.
got the one and he's got the other.
Yeah.
It's cute. It's great.
It's a really cute card.
Before we leave, special shout outs to Joseph and V2, Dustin St. Wright, Tyler Bunn, our 3 patrons. By now you just know them by our first names like we do.
Yeah, our amazing patrons.
yes. And if you would like to be one of those amazing patrons that we call every single episode,
Thank you.
all you got to do is go to patreon.com/nitpickingnerds. It's in the description
Is that where we keep it? In the description?
below.
Below.
That's all we got.
That's it?
Yeah, that's it.
Peace out, Tribe Scout.